Hello everyone, this is James Pungello from VGU.TV. We're going to be taking a look at the Batman Arkham Origins gameplay trailer that was just revealed at E3 in the latest edition of Upon Further Review. So let's take a look. As the trailer begins, we get to see Gotham City during the holiday season. There's Batman. We'll get a better look at him later, but we're going to get a stop coming up right here. And here we can get a good look at Black Mask. He's the main villain for Batman Arkham Origins. He puts a bounty on Batman's head, as we'll see later in the trailer, and he's the main reason why all of the villains are out to get Batman on this particular night.
Thinks he's a hero.
And we're going to quickly stop the trailer again right here as we get our first full look at Batman in this trailer. As you can see, he's up on top of in a perch. He's still a little bit in the shadows, but it's a pretty cool character model for Batman. We'll go ahead and start the trailer up again.
Luckily, there ain't a problem.
And here we're going to get a glimpse of the combat, and we're going to get a stop coming up right here. And as we can see here, Bane is being handed something, which we're going to see is basically the contract to kill Batman for $50 million. Not only can we see Bane's name, but we can also get a pretty good look at Bane right here, and the mask that he appears to be wearing, and his very large stature.
It can't be solved with
As the trailer starts back up, we can see Bane reading the contract.
We all win.
We're going to see a little bit more combat, and we're going to get a stop right here. Here we can see Bane's profile, which lists his name, his age, other attributes like his size and his weight. Also interesting is that it says that he's an Interpol person of interest, terrorist. He has a 187 IQ, and we can basically just glean that this is obviously the Bane from the comics, and he's both very ruthless, very smart, and very powerful physically. And here we can see Deadshot's profile. Some of the things that are of note is that he's an expert marksman. He's wanted for 6 counts of murder, including one of a government official. And here we can see the profile for Deathstroke. His skills include guerrilla warfare, hand-to-hand combat, and marksmanship. He has outstanding warrants for 26 counts of first-degree murder and 14 counts of assassination of a public official. It also says that one of his known associates is William Randolph Wintergreen. He's a character in the comics who is very close to Slade Wilson, who is Deathstroke. And it'll be interesting to see if that character is in the game or if that's just a reference. And here we can see Deathstroke squaring off with Batman, once again, as they did in the CGI trailer as well. We're going to get a glimpse of Batman interrogating someone, and we're going to get a stop right here. And here we can see a henchman that Batman is interrogating, trying to find the Black Mask. He appears to have the Penguin's symbol on his jacket, which we saw in Arkham City on the Penguin's henchman. We do know that the Penguin is supposed to be in Arkham Origins, so it definitely makes sense that his henchman would show up in the game as well. And there we can see the Batman let the henchman go. And we're going to get a stop coming up right about here. And here we can see the Batwing, which is Batman's plane, obviously, which we saw in the earlier Batman games bring Batman some supplies in Arkham Asylum and in Arkham City as well. And here, a little bit after the stop, once the trailer starts up again, you're going to see Batman being dropped out of the Batwing, so it's possible that that could be a gameplay mechanic where you can be dropped into any part of the gameplay map, or this could just be something cool for the trailer, we're not sure. And here we see Batman dropping out of the Batwing and cape gliding into the city. We see a little bit more of the combat, and we're going to get a stop coming up right about here. And as soon as the trailer starts up again, you're going to see Batman do a new takedown. He's going to fire this grappling hook at one of the henchmen that's on the ground, and he's going to be lifted up onto one of the perch points and taken out. Almost like when Batman takes someone in one of the previous games in an inverted takedown and leaves them dangling from one of the gargoyles. It's basically the exact same thing, except Batman's not on that gargoyle. He's shooting that from a different gargoyle, so that's a pretty cool takedown. And here is that takedown that I was talking about before. We're going to see Batman confronted by a helicopter here. And we're going to get a stop right here. This is our first look at detective mode for Batman Arkham Origins. It looks slightly different than the detective mode that was in the previous games, although still very much similar. to detective mode. Obviously, it's going to play a big part in this game, just like it did in the previous two games. It'll be interesting to see what kind of additions and new features that Warner Brothers Montreal decides to put into the game. And here we can see that in detective mode, it's recreating the crash. That seems like another gameplay mechanic we'll be able to use. There's Bane throwing Batman around, and we're going to get our first look at the Joker right here at this stop. The Joker we knew was going to be in the game. This is pre-Batman Arkham Asylum, so there's no continuity issues with the ending of Arkham City. It'll be interesting to see exactly how the Joker plays into this game, since most of the other characters who are bad guys and villains who are going to be taking on Batman are assassins and hitmen, as we saw with Deathstroke and Bane and Deadshot. So Joker's always a lot of fun, and we'll see how they portray him in this game. So as the trailer moves towards its conclusion, we can see that the game's going to be coming out this fall. There's the Joker and Batman together, the tagline, "Your enemies will define you," and the final title screen for Batman Arkham Origins. So that was the E3 gameplay trailer for Batman Arkham Origins. The game is going to be coming out on October 25th worldwide. Right now it's been announced for the Wii U, the PC, the Xbox 360, and the PlayStation 3. Check back here at VGU.TV for more coverage of Batman Arkham Origins as we near release, and more coverage of E3 2013 as it continues.